Why do you feel a lot of people don't understand credit? What do you think is one of the main missing elements?
I just know in my time and the time before that and a lot of time after that, they weren't teaching like really nothing about credit in school. A social security number, you got a credit score. You know what I'm saying? So every single person has a credit score. So why? My question is like, why isn't it? It's so important. You need a good credit score to get a car. You need a good credit score to get a house.
In life.
Yeah.
Anything in life.
So it's like, why wouldn't it be one of the top topics that you teach, right? So that's a big thing. And then another thing is like a lot of people where I grew up at, right? They actually their parents were already getting stuff in their names and stuff like that, like when they didn't even know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So whole time, a lot of people just don't even understand that they could get good credit because they might have started off with bad credit out the gate.
Right.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it because time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Respect My Blueprint podcast. And today's guest, we have some gems we're going to drop on you guys, man. 2024 has been a pretty rough year started. Well, I wouldn't say rough, but they saying that it's rough because of recession or whatnot. But, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest today, guys, a credit and funding specialist to help you guys out that's struggling with some credit issues and funding issues. But I got my main man here, Tahj Stewart. He's a credit funding specialist, a musician, as well as a real estate investor. So we're gonna learn some game today, right? We're gonna learn some game. What's going on, Tahj?
Yeah, definitely, y'all. I'm feeling good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Glad to have you here, man. Well, first of all, I see you down here in South Florida. You got the South Florida look, right now.
Man, hey, shout out to Kid Super. This is actually my friend's brand too. So,
word?
I like to rock my homie. You know what I'm saying? I like to rock his brand a lot. We actually grew up together. We didn't grow up together. We went to middle school together,
right?
In Wisconsin, and then it was later on when things started taking off when we really tapped in and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to Kid Super, man. He keeps me drippy.
Dope, hell yeah, man. So, which by the way, you're from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin. Yeah, from the Midwest, Wisconsin. Shout out to the 608. Shout out to the 414.
Okay, that's what's up. Which I guess the biggest thing that I got a passion for Wisconsin because Marquette there, Dwayne Wade, went Marquette and everything. So although Giannis, y'all got the Greek freak,
yeah,
but
we got Giannis.
we ain't gonna go down the sports path right now. All right, okay. Yeah. So, which by the way, what bring you down here to Miami?
I'm right now. I'm in one of my mentors is having a mastermind. So came down here really to link up with like-minded people on a consistent basis. That's all I do. A wise man once told me, they said, get in the room and stay in the room. You always want to get inside the room with the right people, with the people who are at a higher level. You never want to be the smartest person in the room,
Hell yeah.
And that's what I always do. Like, even if I gotta be in the room just at my house and being online and jumping in rooms online and Zooms and all that stuff, but it's
soaking in knowledge, right? Exactly. Being a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm. It's way better when you can do it in person. So that's Absolutely. What I'm down here for. And then came and rocked out with you. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Which, by the way, that's a good segue into this first question I want to ask you here is because most people, fail to grasp the concept of money or just building generational wealth because they don't want to get a mentor. Right. Look at you willing to travel and everything like that to be able to soak up to some games. So how important it is to have a mentor when it comes to just wanting to get to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to having a mentor, it's, they've already bumped their head a million times, right?
Facts,
so that's what I always tell people is like, first and foremost, you got to know what you want to do. You got to know.
You got to find your true purpose, right?
Yeah, you got to lock in to you. You got to know what you want to do, right?
Right.
And then from there, once you got that down, you're like, all right, I want to do this. Now just seek the people who are killing it in whatever lane that is, right?
Right.
And then all you have to do is start consuming their content like crazy, like whether it's their YouTube channel, whether it's a podcast that they have, whether it's they got courses or whatever. And then if you get to a point where you can actually invest into mentorship and stuff like that, that is the key cheat code, number one cheat code, because you're actually like the mentorships I've been in recently, like they're giving me like their connections to, you know, to this
to
Chase,
the next level, right?
Yeah, to this exact Chase rep here. That's getting you $50K easy. Like, no, for real. So that's like, that's the key, is really like you got somebody there to not really hold your hand, but like you got somebody there to where you could, they bumped their head a million times.
They already went through the trials and tribulations already.
And one thing I learned is like, even having a mentor, you're still gonna bump your head because you have to take their blueprint. Right, which
pun
is
intended, right?
Yeah,
blueprint.
Right. You got to take their blueprint, which is a A1 cheat code, like
off top,
hands down the best. This is the best decision, right? Take their blueprint, but you still have to recreate it into yours. And so at the end of the day, like you still are gonna have things where you're bumping your head, because in life you're gonna bump your head. Nobody can like give you just everything, right? Nah. So, but granted, you're not going to bump your head as much. You might bump your head 10 times.
So you basically just need that person to ease you bumping your head against the wall along your journey, pretty much, right?
So you're not getting concussions and stuff.
So all right. So hold on. Before we start, though, you know what? Let me go ahead and qualify you, because I want to make sure you know what you're talking about to the people now. You know what I'm saying? The people got so. You know, tell us a little bit about your background, your history a little bit, because, you know, you're into credit and funding and everything. How did you start off getting into that game right there? Yeah,
so basically, like, growing up, me personally, I didn't have any type of financial background, no financial
like most people.
Literacy. Yeah, like
they don't teach it.
Exactly. And my mom's, like, she worked to go get her money. She never stacked up money. Like, she just told me recently she's never even had $5,000 saved up before.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was like, man,
that hurts.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, you know, and
she's
had things before. Like, she's had a house that she, you know, and she's had but she don't have it anymore.
Right, I feel you.
But you know, so it's like this type of stuff wasn't really you know, handed to me at all. So I was forced to like make certain decisions that were unhealthy to myself, my lifestyle, my brain, my body, everything, right? At a young age.
You know, you growing up tough, right? Pretty much like most of us.
Yeah. Understood. So really, like, about a year and some change ago, I started to see this information come, like, on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that.
Look at that.
Yeah, okay. My guy him 500. I started to see stuff with him, and then I started to like dive into like the Earn Your Leisure platform and stuff like that.
I started. So you're a student of the Earn EYL.
Yeah, yep. And then from there, it's like when you're riding when let's say you just bought a red car, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then now you bought a red Toyota Camry or something.
Okay.
Now, all of a sudden, all you're seeing is red Toyota Camrys when you bought that red car, right? You bought that. Yeah. So now everywhere you're going, you're seeing the same car everywhere. You're seeing it. You're like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
That's you just being in the same room. That's that energy flowing.
Yeah,
that's what it is, right?
And that's how it really was with the credit stuff. Is like once I started to dive into the credit repair field,
right? I
started to just like it's like the algorithms were working, and I was just like went down the rabbit hole to where I'm like learning through and through credit repair, business funding, stuff like that. But then I got the opportunity to get into a mentorship where I was able to leverage some personal credit that I already had.
Okay.
Get into the mentorship, and then absolutely went crazy.
Okay, I think that's the phone. Oh, that's my phone. Man, that's crazy. Everybody, that's my phone. I'm looking crazy. That's me. Who got it calling me off the damn?
Yeah, it's all good. Nah, so basically, like, I leveraged some personal credit, got into this mentorship where I really dove into the credit repair. The business funding was huge, and then the real estate stuff. And then, I ended up just going hard,
going ham after that, right?
Yeah, I leveraged that $15,000 that I had in personal credit on a credit card. I went and got hundreds of thousands of dollars for myself, like right out the gate.
15 bands. So you started off with 15 bands of personal credit and flipped it.
Yep, got into the mentorship. Took the I got the information. I took the information that I learned in the mentorship, ran up hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal business credit between the both.
Okay,
and that was like right when I was really first just getting started. So I was already like ahead of the wave.
Hold on. How long ago this was?
This was about like really like 7 months ago, for real. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Fresh in it, and you tearing it up, boy. That's what's up.
Yep.
Okay.
Went hard out the gate. The biggest thing, was just really having that mentorship, honestly. And then once I got the information, I leveraged it, got the credit. Once I got the credit, I mean, it was curtains after that, because then I was able to now get my credit repair business flowing and going, right?
Okay.
So then I'm getting everybody results. I'm big on results. I'm huge on results. Like, I gotta get results, and I gotta get them as fast as possible.
Too,
yeah,
right.
So and then that's when I started getting my funding clients.
Once you get them the credit, the next step, of course, is leveraging it to funding, of course.
Exactly, yep.
Okay.
And a real cool thing about the mentorship I was in, too, is one of my mentors that actually gifted me personally a property. They gifted me a whole property from the work that I put in.
Damn, hey, some of y'all people that's watching this show, go ahead and give your boy a little love, man. Go ahead and shoot me a little property every night. Hey.
Nah, for real, nah. So it's pretty dope. So that was just another like just a sign showing me that I was on the right path, doing the right things, and I was making the right decisions by diving into the mentorship and really giving it my all. My brand is actually called Obsessed with Success. So
Obsessed with Success.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's talk about that a little bit. What's up with that?
Yeah. So basically, like, I realized that and able to really like make something really happen and go hard with it, like, and able to really build it up and make it something that's going to be life changing.
Right.
You got to be obsessed with it. Right.
Hell yeah. You gotta have that maniac approach to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I agree with you.
100%, bro. Yeah. And so I realized, like, man, you gotta like go to sleep, think about this. About how you can get better at what you're doing, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
And it's gonna and the crazy part about it, sorry to cut you off, is good. That it's gonna rub some people the wrong way too. Mm-hmm. But you gotta, and you people that you think that may be fans behind your idea or your vision may not necessarily be there supporting you, like family and friends or whatnot. So you got to have that maniac approach to be able to fight through all of that.
Yeah, and when you don't come from like a financial background for real,
right?
People don't really understand it at first. When I'm telling them how I'm leveraging the personal credit to go run up, credit stack and go get multiple business credit cards at 0% interest and stuff like that, they're like, okay, I get it, but I'm not seeing, like, they're not seeing the vision,
right?
They're not really understanding it like that. So yeah, it's funny that you say that, because that's literally like, that's how it started off for me. People are like, oh, then they see me with a property, and then you get 2 properties and 3 properties and 4 properties and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, maybe you do know what you're doing. Yeah. So, and it's crazy, honestly, because it's like, the real reason why I got into this is because I saw what you can do. As long as you have to be responsible, right?
Right.
Like, you gotta know how to stack money up some type of way. Like, there has to be a level of responsibility. You have to have some type of like a hustle. You got to have a plan. You got a
blueprint,
right? You got to have the blueprint, right? And then it's curtains, right? So once I started to really understand credit, and I started to understand business credit, and then I looked around and realized how many people in the country really don't
need it too.
Yeah, like they don't understand it. So then I'm like,
which, by the way, hold on, that's I want to transition to this, but why do you feel a lot of people don't understand credit? What do you think is one of the main missing elements of that?
Well, the number one thing is, like, I'm 31. I was born in 92. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I just know in my time and the time before that and a lot of time after that, they weren't teaching like really nothing about credit in school. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's, if you have a social security number, you got a credit score. You know what I'm saying? So,
Damn,
every single person has a credit score. So why? My question is like, why isn't it? You know, why isn't it? It's so important. You need a good credit score to get a car. You need a good credit score to get a house.
Anything in life.
Yeah.
Anything in life.
So it's like, why wouldn't it be one of the top topics that you teach, right? So that's a big thing. And then another thing is like a lot of people where I grew up at, right? They actually they like their parents were already getting stuff in their names and stuff like that, like when they didn't even know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So whole time, you know, a lot of people just don't even understand that they could get good credit because they might have started off with bad credit out the gate.
Right.
You know, like, so a lot of people don't know, and they don't understand how easy it is to get good credit. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. And the crazy thing about it, you only have to do it right the first time and just maintain it after that, you know. But of course, the key thing with credit is that you got to have cash flow. Exactly. You know, credit is there to use as leverage. You know, so, and I agree with you. A lot of what our society fails that is, you know, is honestly is just the fact of the literacy, you know. Why do you think that's not being taught in schools also? Like, I mean, the honestly, you know, this country is a corporation. Everything's a business, and there's people who profit off of our ignorance when it comes to that. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, if they taught everybody how to be financially responsible and make wise, conscious decisions and not overspend and not be consumers, that would essentially, you know, shut a lot of things down in this country, and that would take money out of their pockets. So they profit off of our stupidity when it comes to credit. You know, that's the thing too. Is like I said, I didn't have any type of knowledge on it. Just 4 years ago, I had a 480 credit score and like 30,000 in debt. So because I didn't know nothing, right? So, but I got credit repair back. So you a student of the game as well too. Fixed up your own credit and everything. Okay.
Well, actually, I didn't fix up my own credit. I actually, like 4 years ago, I actually got credit repair. So from somebody, and they got cleaned me up, you know, got my repo. I had all type of stuff on my stuff, right? Then I took the long route on building my credit up and stuff like that.
Doing it the right way, okay. So, which, by the way, you know, that's a good point to this right here is that, you know, credit repair has a big black eye on the industry, you know. A lot of quote-unquote scammers out there, shysters and everything like that. You hear about credit repair guys just taking people's money and everything like that, and boom. So how do you overcome that? Right. You know, how do you battle against that? Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure you've heard in your career. Oh, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hands down. Yeah. Now, the biggest thing really is, you know, first and foremost, you got to know what you're doing. You know, like, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to really attack, you know, these bureaus. You got to know about the secondary bureaus and all this stuff like that, because, you know, they have TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. Those are like the main ones that everybody knows. They're data collection agencies. So what they do is they collect your data. They're just businesses that collect your data, and they work with these lenders, the banks, and all that stuff, right? That's how it makes your FICO score. Right. Is with the data that they're collecting. But then you got these secondary ones like CoreLogic, SageStream,
LexisNexis, and everything like that.
Yeah, all that. So they're also the ones, they work with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and they're housing a lot of data that the other ones don't even have. But they'll, like, TransUnion will go and check up with Factor Trust, you know, and just to go see, like, hey, do you have anything on this person that we didn't know
so
about?
they talk to each other in a way, cross-reference, right?
they work with each other, So really, like, when doing credit repair, right? Because I also teach credit repair too. So I do credit repair. I do because it's fun, but I actually teach it now.
Oh, wait a minute. So you hit in all lanes then. Yeah. So you teach how to fix your credit, how to get funding from your credit, and to start your own business fixing other people's credit.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. And the biggest reason why is because, honestly, it's like my main goal and my main purpose is to see how many people I could actually, like, help in this world with the information. Like, that's the biggest thing, because I understand how many people don't have the information. So my job, my duty is to get it out there. And the serious people and not the curious, they're going to dive all the way in and they're going to actually make like life-changing decisions. So that's the thing, right? Is the biggest thing is knowing to go to those secondary bureaus first, freeze those up, opt out of those, and actually dispute with those first. You know, you dispute with them first, and then you start cleaning up just the personal information on the other side, and then you start sending out certain letters depending on what these people have on their profiles and stuff like that. But yeah, you gotta know the laws and stuff. So okay, and that's honestly how you get the best results and the quickest results. You know, there's so many different ways to do credit repair and stuff like that. But that's the best, that's the quickest. And then from there, essentially, it's just very important to know that, you know, by consumer law, using consumer law, like nothing is supposed to be like negative. It's supposed to even be reporting on your stuff.
Whoa, hold on. Which you just said, you know, something really quick, which I'm going to talk to the camera here.
Yeah.
Okay. Consumer law, which is something, is new to the game, right? So consumer law is something new to the game. So tell me, how has consumer law really changed the game?
Yeah,
per se.
Definitely. Well, I mean, the main thing is consumer law. Definitely 100%. By knowing consumer law and understanding the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you now understand that nothing negative is even supposed to be reported on your credit report and can get removed.
Right.
By just literally setting them up using these laws. So what you do is you set up the bureaus using the laws by sending out these letters, and if they're not removing these things or responding to these things in certain types of ways, then that's when you set them up to eventually take them to court. And then you can get paid, you can get money back, you can get all type of, you know, depending on the situation, you get all type of different, you know, good perks just for knowing consumer law.
Because there's which I'm not. Let me see if there's a permissible purpose.
Right. Yeah.
Permissible purpose.
Permissible purpose is a good one. Yeah.
You know, and there's also, if I'm not mistaken, with consumer law, you just hit it. There's certain laws that written by Congress that the credit bureau or credit reporting agencies, that they must follow. And
they gotta follow it,
but they break it all the time.
They break it all the time. The thing is, they're just like they're just like how the country works, not teaching us credit because they profit off our ignorance. The credit reporting agencies profit off our ignorance too. They do illegal stuff every day, all day. They're illegally reporting certain things on your credit report. They're illegally. They do so much. It's crazy. And once I started to learn it, I was just like, this is kind of wild how they do certain things just knowing you don't know what you're doing. That's like crazy. You know, just knowing that you have no clue.
That goes back into information. Information is power. If you lack the information, then look what happens. Obviously, right? Yeah,
that's a fact.
Right. Okay. So now, which I want to go into a few hacks about credit and everything like that. Right. So, what are some of the known strategies and hacks that you can utilize to be able to build your credit?
Yeah, definitely. So when it comes to like building out your report, the number one thing I always tell people to do is, you know, there's certain like credit builders, right?
Right.
Like Kickoff, Credit Strong, Rent Reporters, Rental Karma. Those are credit builder accounts that are cool, like accounts just to add to your profile to kind of just add accounts and build it out more. I like Rental Karma and Rent Reporters because they're new accounts. You just added them, but they backdated 2 years, so it won't mess with your age, right? Because it's important to understand.
So that's a good strategy right there. You could actually report your rent to your credit to be able to build it, right?
Yeah, and it backdates it.
Wow,
too.
That hasn't always been around, has it?
No, I don't know. I mean, as far as I've been doing it, I know.
That's what's up, though. But that's a dope concept because obviously a lot of people can't afford to buy a house. So, hey, you know, if I can't get a credit card, let me just go ahead and use my rent.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
Obviously, you got to be paying your rent on time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, make sure you pay the rent. Make sure you pay your rent.
Make sure you pay your rent on time.
Yeah, so it's important to understand, like, you know, what makes your credit profile is your payment history, your credit utilization. So you got to be 100% on time payments. Utilization has to be 10% or less. But like, if you could get that thing paid off 0% before that statement closing date, before the statement closes, not the due date, but the statement closing date.
Which kind of break that down for the audience a little
definitely.
bit. Right.
So basically, the due date is when your minimum monthly payment is due. So let's say that you owe $14 on the 10th.
Right.
So you got to make sure you pay that $14 by the 10th, right? But a lot of people make the mistake by they'll pay the $14 by the 10th, but then on the 11th they're gonna spend $300, and then their statement closes on the 14th, right?
3 days after,
right? Exactly. So then, on the statement closing date, whatever amount was on that statement when it closed, that's what gets reported to the bureaus, to the credit reporting agencies.
Oh, so not the due date on the 11th, actually what's on the 14th.
Exactly, what's on the 14th, right?
Okay.
So then that's how they calculate what you're going to owe for your minimum monthly payment.
Right.
So if you paid off your card 100% by the statement closing date, and then now it's at zero, you don't owe anything. So your minimum monthly payment is just going to say zero.
Exactly.
Because you're not getting charged a percentage on what was on your balance when the statement closed. You're not getting hit
with that APR, because that high APR is only based upon what's
on the balance. Right, yeah, right. So that's that. When I learned that, even I was like, why didn't nobody tell me this? Why didn't?
And that's crazy.
Yeah, that's something simple that you feel like you should know, but it's crazy because it's
necessary in life.
It's necessary. So
definitely right.
You got the credit age, so you just need a very lengthy age, and that'll help boost your score up, right?
Right.
So that's why it's important to, as you're adding new accounts and credit builders and stuff,
right,
that you do like Rental Karma, Rent Reporters, because those backdate 2 years, so it's not dinging your age crazy,
because it's normally, if you get a new account, I think that affects the algorithm of your score, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, because and then also it's the credit mix and the new accounts. So with the credit mix, you want auto loan, whatever, personal loan, secured loan, credit card. You want different things that are like on your credit, instead of just having like one thing or something,
Just having a revolving line like a credit card or something.
Exactly,
like that,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Saying,
and also, you just don't want too many new accounts. So when you're building it at first, you'll have a lot of new accounts because you're getting those credit builders. But then also, what I like to do for people is I sign them up to something called the American Consumer Council. So it's the ACC.
The ACC.
Yeah, and basically, you sign up for that there. And you use the word consumer, you can get in for free, to get into the American Consumer Council. And then that'll allow you to go and get into so many different federal credit unions, like Andrews Federal Credit Union, Air Force Federal Credit Union, all these different ones, right? And then instead of getting a secure credit card,
right,
I have people go ahead and get a secured loan.
A secured loan.
A secured loan.
So explain why a secured loan would be better than a secured credit card.
Yeah. So what's dope about the secured loans is honestly, it's like, let's say you got a little bit of money that you could put in, like a 500 or 1,000 or whatever,
starter pack.
Yeah, something that you could put into it, right?
Right.
It's cool because you could put say you put $1,000 into your savings account with Andrews Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
And then you call them up, hey, I want to open up a secured loan, right?
Using that 1,000?
Using that 1,000 as the leverage. Okay. So basically, they freeze up the 1,000.
Right.
They give you the loan for 1,000.
Right.
Now you just take $900 out of that $1,000 loan and you pay it. You pay it off. You're paying it off. So
right, because they're giving you that 1,000, so you just pull 9.
Exactly.
Right, and put it towards the loan payment.
And then now they just unfreeze the 900, so you never lost out on the money, but now, so you have the money back, you got 900, and then you just got an outstanding balance on that loan for $100, but you now have a 90% paid off loan on your credit report, right? And what's cool is that now once you start to build that relationship with whatever bank you're doing that with, right? Now you're raising your bank rating points. So like every
bank rating point, which by the way, share that with the audience. So most people in the audience don't know that's like a internal algorithm that the banks use sometimes.
Definitely.
Right?
Yep. That's exactly what it is. So every single bank and institution, they have something called a bank rating system. And how it works is for the more products that you actually get And products are just literally anything that a bank offers. It doesn't, a checking account, a savings account, credit cards, any type of loan, a Roth IRA, or anything that they offer, a CD. That's a product. So the more banking products that you have and that you're taking care of, and the more money that you're putting into these things, that's raising your bank rating, which is going to help you out in the long run, along with your credit profile and everything like that, to go get higher limits and make it easier for you to get approved for things, right?
Okay.
So that's the cool thing, is that you don't have to get a secure credit card, because once you get that, you could actually apply for just a regular, and you got your other stuff.
True.
So another thing before, so I have them do the secured loan,
right?
Yeah, but before they apply for any type of card or anything, then I have them go and add a couple trade lines and stuff like that, like authorized user trade lines, stuff like that, just to boost.
Do you think that's still beneficial in 2024? I know the AU game has kind of taken a hit. A lot of people say that authorized trade lines is not as effective, because a lot of these banks, they're not giving it as much weight as primaries.
Nope. They're not. That's true. It's not as. It's still a hitter. It's still a heavy hitter.
It's still a good trade line that's reporting on your credit.
Because how it looks is like at the end of the day, it still looks like to them that you have responsible people around you, and as long as your credit looks good, then it's still like they're still looking like, okay, well, you look pretty good, and these people look good, whoever this is.
Yeah, it's okay. Somebody good fucking with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so and it's cool because as long as you're like I said, you got your other stuff together, really, like, they know what's up too. Like, they know that you're just utilizing it to boost your age and everything, because at the end of the day too, some of these lenders, they'll be like, oh, okay, they got this account, so we see it's not there, it's not a primary or nothing like that, but it definitely works hands down, especially right before you go and finally apply for the card. So like, you get your credit builders, you get a couple secured loans if you can, if you get a Navy Federal account.
Everybody know about Navy, which they've been in the news recently, but I don't want to. I don't even want to bash them, because a couple of them might be watching the episode.
Yeah,
but one thing I do want to ask you before I get into like the meat of the potatoes is that you mentioned joining the ACC, right, which is an association that allows you to get into these credit unions. You list like 4 or 5 credit unions. So a lot of influencers, a lot of people in the credit game say, yeah, join credit unions, get inside the credit unions. Give me some of the benefits as to why someone will go to a credit union versus going to like a Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or whatnot.
Yeah, the credit unions, honestly, it's like a, I wouldn't say like a double-edged sword at all, but it's you could either do either or. You could do credit unions, or you can go to, it really isn't a real like mystical thing, like I've had clients literally start off with Chase right away and just go and they'll go catch 50K with Chase right the first play that we run. So the thing is like, the credit unions are just cool because they're giving out the bigger bags too,
giving more, right?
And you could rock with a bunch of these credit unions, and not even like the American Consumer Council, that play right there. All these banks might be in Massachusetts or somewhere out
somewhat segregated into a certain area.
But I live over here, but I can still get in.
Got it.
So that's the thing too about the credit unions too that I rock with. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you could still go crazy. You can still go crazy whether it's big or small. Yeah.
Okay. So they do, but I have heard from other influencers, which I agree, because there's credit unions out there, Navy Federal, which is the most popular one, Penn Fed and everything like that. They they're known to give out the bag.
Oh, they're giving out the bag, consistently,
right?
And like the secured loan, like the pledge loan, like I was just talking about, with them, you could get 3 of them. So you could do that same play 3 times.
There's a stacking play as well too. We're gonna get into that a little bit. All right, that's that spicy talk. You know what I'm talking about. You dress for that spicy talk too. So listen. All right. So now I want you to go ahead and share with the audience what's some of the things that they can do by having a high credit score, right? Because we know that having a good credit score is the basics. That's the foundation right there. So you leverage that to build business credit, right? So what are some of the strategies that you could share with the audience? I know you can get them funding. Is there's usually a play that you share with them after the funding, or you just stop at the funding play?
Nah, yeah, definitely. So on top of the funding, I actually partner with one of my partners who's like super deep into the real estate investing. I just got into the real estate investing myself personally.
You just tapped into it now.
But my partner, he's super deep into it. So, we help people get into real estate investing and things of that nature with some of the funds that they get from the business funding too. So if that's something that they want to do, other than that, I mean, the biggest thing is really getting people that funding and making sure, like, hey, you gotta have a plan. I'm telling you, like, if you don't have a plan,
it's out of there.
Yeah,
your ass is out of there.
Your grass, right? And then you gonna end up needing some type of credit repair again, and then you gonna need some business credit repair, which is a whole different thing.
Oh man,
right?
That's the first time I've even heard of business
credit repair.
Man,
right?
you don't messed up so much on your name, your kid's name. You don't messed up on your
everybody,
business.
right? Man, crazy. So no, that's the biggest thing though. Is like, teaching people how to get the credit,
right?
How to get the business credit, and then how to leverage it to go get into the real estate game.
Real estate. Okay, so that's really like the journey right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually within that journey, how long it takes for somebody from start to finish if they have poor credit to be able to get into getting their first property?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's really dependent on like everybody's situation, because you could have 50 collections and 3 bankruptcies and you got some work to do, But if you just got like a few collections and some inquiries and some this and that, like, all right, cool, we could get that off pretty quick, and then honestly from there to build up a profile, like after it, that takes, I don't know, like tops maybe 5-6 months. Because
5-6 months,
I'm talking about from scratch though, like with no card, because I like to run that play where we do the secured loan, but then we go and get a card. We go get a personal credit card, but now you got a lot of new accounts, right? Because let's say they're starting from scratch, right?
Right. Just say they have they baby credit,
right? So now you gotta at least you gotta let it cook a little bit. Like it has to cook up. Like if you got too many new stuff, like the lenders, when you go to get business credit, they're gonna be like, they're literally gonna tell you like the length of your credit history is way too short. Like
we ain't rocking with you.
Exactly.
Right
now there's different things that you can do. You could actually buy primary trade lines too. Like I got primary trade line plus, on the business and the personal side, so you can buy those too, but those are definitely a little bit more expensive than just the authorized user trade lines.
Well, okay, so and I want to ask about this because trade lines, do you some people are on both sides of the fence. They'll say buying trade lines is good, buying trade lines is bad, right? Mm-hmm. So what obviously you offer it, so you're on the good fence. So what are some of the benefits of buying the trade lines, and do you feel like it's necessary to buy a trade line only to get something done? That's really all it's for, really. Like that's it, right?
Buy it just to get something done. Exactly. Like you gotta have a house
or whatever the case may be. Right.
And so another thing too is like buying a business that's already established. So it's called a age self corp. So you buy a business that's a little bit older. So let's say you're just starting off your new business or something. That's cool, but you could actually buy an age self corp that actually has 10, 15, 20 years age.
They already has a long lifeline already.
And they already have like a DUNS number and a paydex score and stuff like that. They already have like corporate credit. So now instead of just going in credit card stacking, you could actually line a credit stack, and you could go and get loans as well. So
really,
so right out the gate.
So necessarily you could be a startup but appear to the world or appear on paper like you've been around for quite some time.
Exactly.
I see the play now.
Exactly. And or if you have a new business, like, and you want to take that leap and go ahead and get the auto primary or something like that on your business name, you can do that too. But like I say, those costs, it was a little more, it was a little bit more hefty. So it just depends on what situation you're in, really.
Now, if you share a story of one of your clients or somebody, how you was able to get funding, is there somebody that sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, really, everybody, to be honest, when it comes to the funding, once they personal profile is ready, we just go, we run it up, we run the plays.
Go get it
so
right?
basically, like, how you do it is you go and you got to know who's pulling from what bureau, right? You gotta
that's
know.
very important.
Yeah,
right?
You got to know who's pulling from TransUnion, who's pulling from Equifax, who's pulling from Experian, right?
Right.
And you got to know, like, okay, cool. The data points too, like what you're putting on the application is huge.
Really?
Because if you put your numbers too high, you're gonna get denied. If you put your numbers too low, you might
yourself in the foot.
Yeah, you might get approved, but instead of getting 25,000, you just got 2,500 or something, which is like, and some people be happy with that, but then some people won't be. They'll be like, what's this?
Yeah, you don't lost out on the big bag.
I saw my guy over there making, he just got 40,000. What's going on?
So, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's it. And then from there we get the inquiries removed, and then we run the plays back again. And the crazy thing too about the business credit is that you can have an unlimited amount of businesses. So
I mean, it's really right, because it's really getting the EIN number and the LLC or corporation, whatever it is, and boom.
And you're just using your personal credit profile. So once your personal credit profile is looking real good, and you go and get yourself some business credit with your business, and you just co-signed it through your personal, you just remove the inquiry and you can run it back again. Or if you had 10 businesses, you could literally just keep doing it.
Damn, hey, listen, man, don't some of y'all go crazy out here. Listen, Taj gonna have y'all out here crazy,
out here
bags, man. Listen, Taj, you gonna have them out here looking like you, boy. Nigga, telling you, watch out now.
Let's go.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, listen, as we ready to wrap up, I also see that you're a musician as well too. Tell me a little bit about your musical talents here.
Yeah, so I started making music a while ago, back in like 2011. And really just went all in with it and went hard with it and stuff like that. One of my most prized records that I put out recently is called Generational Wealth. And it's
Generational Wealth.
Yeah, yep. And it's just a good vibe song.
That's the name of the record?
Yep, it's a good, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's fire too, yeah.
Man, why won't some of y'all rappers come out with something like that?
Yeah.
Like, damn, for real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's a dope record right there.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It's and it's just, it's a feel good song, and then like in the video it's like about somebody coming from like a struggle and just making it out of it and building something up, for their family and stuff. So
that's what's up.
But I've been making music for a while, and just have fun with it and stuff like that. As you get older, obviously, certain things switch up. I got babies at the house now, so they're like,
you gotta feed them.
They're going hard, right? and they go hard. They're just like dad. So it's like, but I'm always making music though, 100%.
That's what's up.
Once I got acclimated to this information though, it's changed everything.
Game changer.
Yeah, I said, all right, let me go ahead. And now what's pretty cool, honestly, is now one of my things too that I'm starting to do is I'm starting to teach artists how they can skip past the labels, right? So now
there's a real big talk about that since Kanye and a lot of artists coming out and saying they getting jerked by these labels.
Exactly. Now because really in a sense people, like back in the day, it was like, okay, a thing. Like, I want to get signed. I can't wait till I get signed. And then there was this thing where people were like, independent. That this is where it's at, independent. Right. But still, like, you gotta have the money. The money has to come from somewhere, and that's all that a label does anyways. They just loan you the money and maybe a few resources along the way.
That's it.
But you still have to pay all that money back. Like, they'll be like, oh, you got signed for $2 million, but you got to pay it back somehow.
Oh yeah, they're like I think I seen a clip with Fat Joe said it, where big record labels are like big Ponzi schemes, right? Because they just give you crazy money with a crazy amount of interest that can't be repaid, and you just keep you in debt.
Exactly, man.
That's why you see so many artists fall victim to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where I realized now, having the information I have now, I could teach artists how to leverage their credit to go and get business credit to go and be their own label.
That's what's up.
It's like if you gonna risk it.
That's the first time I heard that. Yeah, because there's no telling how many how many artists, athletes out there who's suffering from poor credit or poor financial literacy. Yeah, so to be able to tap into artists and educate them, I like that.
Yeah, yep. And then they just get past the label and they could fund their own project. Now you could go and get $100,000 for your record or for whatever you got to do, and actually give it a real solid run and be able to get a good feature or get good airplay and all this and that. And really put it behind the marketing. Like now you can actually do that. So
do it a lot quicker than, like you said, than you would by yourself or without a mentor, without the resources.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's a big one. That's why I'm happy I dove into this lane too, because coming up with the musical background that I have as well, I tied the two together because I'm like, oh, okay, I can really help a lot of people, because some people, this is what they want to do. They want to make music, right?
Right.
But they're waiting for something to happen. But it's like, no, you got to make it happen.
You got to make
You got to make it happen.
And I feel like that's another big pain point for a lot of people too, is just taking action.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that either information overload or just a lack of taking in the information. You rather just entertain yourself all the time, but taking action.
Yeah. 100%.
That's the key, right? Which, as we're getting ready to wrap up and everything like that, another question I want to ask you before we end the show here is that now you've leveraging into education, you're into mentorships, obviously that's why you're down here, right, soaking up game, and now you transition into teaching others the game, sharing the game with them. So how has that been, and how far do you see you taking that as far as showing others how to start their own credit repair business? Yeah,
that's like my whole purpose of living.
That's it right there.
Yeah, right? That's it. Like, that's what I realized a long time ago. I just didn't know exactly what I was supposed to be doing, but I always had this calling to be able to help as many people as possible, but I just didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. So once I stumbled across all this type of information and I started to get really good with it, like real fast too, that's when I realized, I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, because it came so quick, it came so easy, and everything was kind of like, it was just working out in my favor. So that's when I realized. So honestly, like, when it comes to teaching people how to do credit repair, teaching people how to start their own funding company and get into the real estate game, that's it. Like, we going all the way. Just going all the way. And honestly, like, my biggest thing is just building more relationships, building more partners, networking, and just building this thing up as high as possible. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Well, one final question, which a lot of the people who sticks to the end of the show know what I'm about to ask you here, but here in the Blueprint platform, in the Respect My Blueprint show, we like to get from our guests their blueprint to success. What was the one secret recipe that got them to where they are to be able to, share to the world? So if you could share with the audience, what is one secret they would need to build their blueprint as you was able to build yours? Honestly, one big thing, like we already kind of touched on it, was the mentorship. That's a big thing. Yeah. Because you have to take their blueprint, recreate it, kind of make it yours. But like, it starts from a root, like the root of where it's coming from. Like, you have to, the first thing in any blueprint is just having the inception of knowing what you want to do and tapping into yourself. Like, you got to know yourself, you got to tap into yourself, and you really got to dive all the way in. And once you, like we spoke on earlier, like once you got it, then that's when you kind of dive into mentorships, you dive into anything that you need to do, because from there, everything else is gonna like pan out. Once you got the right mentor, like everything's gonna pan out. Because you literally have their blueprint. So, so like that's really the blueprint. It's like that's the blueprint. Is skipping past 50,000 steps that you didn't have to take, right? The fuckery, pretty much.
Exactly.
Because it's just life. Life is inevitable. You're going to go through trials and tribulations, so you just want to minimize and mitigate that. I get it.
Yeah, that's a fact. And also too, I just want to say too, like with me being here right now, like I said, my brand is called Obsessed with Success. So I'm appreciative to be here. So I want to give something to the audience and everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening.
Okay, let's go. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Give back.
You
feel me? Give back. There you go. What you got for the people?
So I actually got a few things, which is pretty dope. So I got my Credit Building 101 ebook. It literally is breaking down like step A to Z on how you can build your profile out. A lot of my trade line plug is on there, like a lot of different cool stuff, right? Yeah, and then also I got my business funded blueprint, so you guys could dive into the business funded blueprint 100%, and you can get all type of plays and everything on there. And then also I got my inquiry removal kit. So
hold on, wait, did you say the FREE free?
The free. Yeah.
That boy don't drop the free ebooks. Listen, man. Listen. I told y'all, listen, to be able to get some of this right here, you have to stay to the end. And look, your boy Taj has went ahead and dropped you guys, a whole array of ebooks that you'll be able to pick up on.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, with those 3 right there, like, you could literally go and run plays. Like, all you gotta do is dive into them, and you can run the plays and make something happen. And all you gotta do is go to beobsessedbooks.com. So beobsessedbooks.com, and go ahead and get them free ebooks. I got y'all. So
that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
And then maybe follow me on Instagram at TazRaw, TASRAWW, and let me know some results. Like, man, I saw you on the podcast, man. I dove into this stuff. It's going down. It's paid $50,000. Good looking.
Let's do it. Okay, that's what's up. And I like that because as you able to get the information, give the information. Giving value, especially there's no better value than free value, because obviously that just build up more communities. So which the link will include it in the episode as well as in the show notes, guys, as well as, again, follow Taj. All of your Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff will be included inside of the show notes as well too. Man, I'm hoping we can have you back, man.
Definitely, bro.
Okay, we're gonna tap in.
Trust me, I'm ready. I want to come back down here all the time.
Man, listen, man, you ready for the beach, man? That's what I'm talking about. So next time you come down, let me get one of them shirts.
Right? Man. Yeah, I got you. Let's get it.
Yeah, listen. Next time we do the show, we're gonna be looking fly together, guys. Okay, just know that. But listen, thanks for tapping in. You can check out the show every Thursday at 6 p.m. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Uptrend Credit. Uptrend Credit, the premier credit monitoring platform where you'll be able to get your credit scores, credit report, as well as credit grades in a single, easy to understand platform. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep, let's Paul with blueprint. This guests are exclusive. Get on and tune in and then learn some new tips about credit, finance, investment. A nice chance to get rich and buy land. Flip it, quick 9 bands. Learn all the skills from Wes, he did it. Learn how to build successful business. Run up a mill and get the digits. Run up a mill. Look, safe place where guests are speaking. Based off financial freedom. All facts, no cap, believe it. Podcast, you have to see it.